I know which one you should get.
I know which one you want me to have. Here's the
Well,
thing, though. Go ahead,
We
Tom.
Power Rangers
in my
together.
opinion,
Hmm.
it would have to be the Titan flying one, because you want to be able to withdraw from combat
Yeah, that's right.
Well, you can still withdraw
as
from
a
the combat
soldier.
in that one. You can run it at 150
He's
miles an
got a good
hour.
point.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you can fly at 400 and nothing's going to keep up with you except select few
Well, no. See,
things.
here's my thing. Okay,
Like, I can think of a few
let me
things.
explain my
I
thoughts
think
for
a dragon could get you.
No, here's my thinking. Here's my
Dragon.
thoughts behind buying the power armor. I don't plan on using it often. I want it to be the okay, crap's going down, we need a heavy hitter, break out the power armor because Al's not a big fan of them. The truth is, as maneuverable as the Titan is, its weapons aren't that much more powerful than what Al already carries on him. So if he's going to go through the effort and trouble of putting on a power armor, maybe he should get the one that's like really powerful.
Yeah, that has the goddamn railgun and rocket launchers out of its hands. Yeah.
Because my thinking was this.
Fair
It's
point.
neat to be able to fly, don't get me wrong. It really is cool to be able to fly. But the offensive capabilities aren't really any better than what he has with his rifle, other than the rockets. I don't know how much damage rockets do. So that's actually...
They can do here. I'll give you an idea. Mini missiles typically come in a variety of shapes and sizes. Give me a second. Let me just get out my weapon listing here, and I can tell you exactly. So a mini missile, so like armor piercing or plasma, that's typically about 1d4 times 10 or 1d6 MD times 10 MDC,
Mhm.
right? Fragmentary has a larger area. It's like anti-personnel and does about 66 MDC. Short range missiles. Oh god. Oh my god. It's one thing I actually don't have here. Give me just 2 seconds, because you don't use short. We have yet to encounter them. So, just give me 2 seconds as I just.
And
open up.
are these the same thing that the other one fires as well? The one that's on his
Yeah,
forearm?
mini missiles are the same between the Samson and the Flying Titan.
I see.
And they're not really guided missiles. You just fire and shoot them like an aim shot,
Mhm.
right? Short range missiles are a little bit more involved. They can actually, you can get like special cruise missiles that kind of hunt them down. They're heavier. They tend to do a little bit more damage, and they use their own to hit. So like, I think it's like a +3 or a +5. Just like it doesn't matter how good your skill is. It's like a
Mhm.
fire and forget missile, right?
Right.
So let me just find the goddamn missile listing here. Riffs, hand-to-hand combat. No, war machines. I know. There's a list here. Ah, here we go. Okay, so short range of missiles. So the high explosive, like the fragmentary. Oh, they pretty much do the same actually. 1d4 times 10 and 1d6 times 10. So they're very, very similar. It's when you get into like medium and long range missiles that they do like 46 times 10. Like they do like fusion block damage.
Right.
So really, mini missiles and short range missiles, it's really just how they're fired, really, and their range.
Got it. So
But considering
basically,
a mini missile's range is 1 mile, you're pretty good.
the biggest difference besides the durability is the railgun, which is 1d6 times 10, right?
Yeah, per burst. Yeah,
1d6
Per
times
60 shot.
10 per burst. On
and
the
you
other,
can do as many bursts, as you have attacks per melee.
right. Man, yeah, I don't know. Because
You know what? You
Mhm.
don't have to decide right now. You can think about it and let us know for next session.
yeah, I might do that.
Okay. It's like Pepsi and Coke. Not really. Pepsi and Coke can't shoot mini missiles, at least not now.
Well, because I was thinking about it, is that it looks like the mini missiles do about as much damage as a railgun anyway, and most of our fights don't last longer than the 6 missiles it would take.
So far,
So far, yeah. You know what? No, you know what? You know what? You know what? I'm going to get the Samson. I love the idea of the flying thing, but if I want to stay in character, if I
you know
want...
what?
Mhm.
You guys are rich enough that you could try the Sims and be like, you know what? I don't like it. I'm gonna just buy Flying Titan instead. You know what I mean? Like you have money to burn if you really, 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 really want. So
You know,
unless
would anyone be opposed to buying them both? I can fly.
Oh my god, someone get the why not both meme faces going. Let's
why
do
not
it.
both?
Like, does
Why not
anyone object to why not both?
Why not both?
Swear to God, if this gets in the way of buying my giant robot, this is bullshit.
This bullshit.
Yeah.
No, you know what? You know what though? Didn't Inferno said, and I'm actually more I thought about this, especially if we're buying an 11-foot power armor. The more I think maybe we should get a robot to store it
because
in.
I can't carry that stuff.
Yeah, but what if we? But we would want to get a fixer upper anyway, and he said that was 30-ish million. So this is not going to be a drop.
That would be on the minimum low end.
Right, but what I'm saying is we're talking about with all 3 power armors, we're talking about less than 3 million. That's a drop in the bucket.
That is 5%, which is pretty hefty.
Okay.
Anyway.
How about this? How about this?
Could
How about
we
this? How about this?
Return it if we don't like it. Is there some kind of warranty?
No, I was
No,
gonna say this.
but
How about
The
this?
salesperson points to a sign that says all sales are final.
How about this? Let's do it this way. Let's get the robot, and then we'll worry about how many power armors to get.
Okay.
I think that's a good plan.
Okay, well, why don't we have that discussion about robots now, if you like? Okay.
Robot discussion.
Okay, robot discussion. So, how about I give you some of your options, okay?
Mhm.
Will that work?
Mhm.
Okay, so this is what Perrin has available that he could sell. Okay. I'm going to put into 2 categories. Perrin has a few robots kicking around that he uses as a part of his militia force. He's willing to sell them to you. They're all in very, very good condition. He's willing to sell them to you and put in an order and wait for it to come in. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one robot, so it's not going to completely weaken his defense. So I'll let you know what you could get right away. And I can let you know, because Perrin has many connections, and he can order it in, and it will come in time, right? So let's go with just what he has available, all right? So you're going to have to just give me 2 seconds, because I have to see what his militia has. And, of course, bring up pictures here for you. So it'll just be a moment or two. I'm so glad this was like 2 months ago. I'm like, this is what all the defenses have. I'm like, oh, all right. There's also a Glitter Boy power armor. That's a part of the defensive Perrin's post, but that's not for sale. Glitter Boy is very popular.
Plus, I don't think any of us have the skill to use it.
Okay, so the first one that they have is... I have to get out my robots now, my robot list.
I could have sworn there was a penalty for trying to use psionic stuff in heavy armor.
And
I
you
can't
mean
find
power armor?
Yeah, power armor or heavy armor, like anything
the
other
thing.
than light armor.
This is the thing, Burn. I was
Burn.
gonna just call you Tom, but I'm like, no, we're not in
That's
character.
the name.
So there are some psychic powers that don't work. Okay, this is how I'm going to make things, because we're going to use the rule of common sense, all right?
Yeah.
Just one sheet of metal isn't going to protect someone against a psychic attack, right? Now, of course, there's special helmets, special bands, special magic items that can negate that. But if you, like, I don't know, if you can affect someone in body armor, there's not enough much difference between a helmet in body armor and power armor to all of a sudden make it anti-psychic. So this is what it is. The psychic has to have a line of sight with their victim, right? So if I see an identifiable head, I can target it, right? But if you're in a robot and you have no idea where the individuals are inside the robot, you can't target them, all right?
Mhm.
We're going to reverse that, flip that as well, right? So if you're in armor where you have a clear head, you know what I mean? You're able to affect the outside world, right?
Mhm.
If you're in a big robot, one, you're probably concentrating on operating the damn thing and can't focus on psychic, hurting people psionically, right?
Yeah.
And secondly, we'll say the sheer mass of like the electronic field that a robot generates does fuck up with psychic powers.
Yeah, probably.
So we're gonna say, yeah, rule of thumb, body armor and light power armors should be fine.
There is light power armor?
Yeah, the Flying Titan and the Terrain Hopper, those are light power armors.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, we're getting both. Squee.
Pineapple?
Well,
Yeah.
do you have the skill to use power
Yeah.
armor?
Do you have
Do
pilot
I?
robots and power armor? I
Yeah,
don't know.
I think
No.
sadly it's not like body armor. You actually have to have a skill in power
you do.
armor.
Well, butts.
You had to
But-
be trained. Have you not played Fallout 3? You gotta be trained in that shit.
Hey.
Here, I inflate your window and then your character shoots. I love it. Oh,
Aw.
butts.
Mm.
Hey, that doesn't mean someone can't train you in it.
That's true.
Yeah, but
I have a very flexible.
Well-
Mila could.
Tom, like I said, if we have enough money after getting the robot, I think it would just make sense to have either kind there, and then at the moment we could be like, does this seem like a Flying Titan moment, or does this seem like a Samson moment? And I want to stress that it would really have to be a moment for Al to crawl in them, because he's just not a big fan.
Yeah, I could just imagine though, Tom just like raining fire down on the Titan.
It's actually funny
the
because, like,
Titan.
as a player, dude, I so want to just run around in this thing all the time. But I'm kind of limiting myself because I don't want to just run around in power armor all the time. So Al's just like, you know what it is? It's to him, even though there is no real smell, there's a smell. He doesn't like power armor, but he's smart enough to think that, there's times where they're really handy. So
You know that demon that we fought?
yeah, like that
Oh,
demon.
that was pretty good.
Yeah.
So yes, but let's do especially. I love the idea of having a robot that's like our mobile home kind of thing. That would be so
I do
cool.
too. I really do. We have to be very careful though, because it's very inconspicuous.
As long as we're
Okay.
traveling with the troop, and after we leave the troop, we'll figure something else out.
Okay. So these are, I'm going to just bring out the two pictures. These are the robots that Perrin is willing to sell you just right off of his own militia, okay? He has, just a second, the first one is it's called a UAR Enforcer. And Squee
Mm-hmm.
is very familiar with this because this is a coalition design.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an option. It's an option. You can take a look at it. Boom. Now that one is I don't know if this one's really going to interest you because it's very combat oriented and it's only single pilot. I'm assuming you guys are looking for something that multiple people can travel in, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so maybe.
Or at least like a storage locker on legs.
Oh yeah,
we want a
there's
Normandy.
big- yeah.
Normandy.
We want a
Okay, so maybe this one's more like almost like really, really, really big power armor. It's maybe not so much, but I'll keep the picture there anyway.
He needs more guns.
No, I don't think hey, it's a coalition weapon. It looks like a skull and it's brimming with guns. What else do you want? So
A six-pack.
okay, so now here's the Titan series of robots, in which Perrin has. Now, Cyberworks also makes these as well, but Perrin has managed to get himself a few of them. Now, they come in 3 different flavors. They come in let me just get the exact listing. They come in a combat robot, exploration and light combat, and then a reconnaissance robot. I'll tell you which ones are which when I find out exactly what Perrin has. So he has a combat robot and a light combat robot. So the middle one there, that's the combat, and the one on the left is the light combat. The one on the right that has a little sensor on it, that's the reconnaissance one. So the combat robot, the combat Titan, that one has, as far as capacity, It's one pilot and it can accommodate 2 passengers comfortably. Okay. It has a main body of 370, and when the main body is breached, there's a reinforced pilot compartment that offers an additional 100 MDC. All right. It's 28 feet tall. It comes with rapid fire railguns, medium rocket launchers, mini missile leg launchers, laser turrets. It has quite a few weapons on it. All right. It costs, wow. Perrin will let it go for 24 million credits. It's seen a little bit of combat, but not a whole lot because not a lot of people fuck with these things. So it has just a few places on it where it's clearly been repaired. But other than that, the weapon systems work really, really well. It's well maintained. So you can get that one off the get-go. The one on the left, the light combat reconnaissance exploration one, it is a little bit roomier because it has less weapons. It can accommodate 1 pilot and 4 passengers. Its mega damage is 300 with the 100 reinforced pilot compartment, so it can still sustain quite a bit. It still has some weapon systems. It has short-range rocket launchers, and it has like laser ball turrets. So they're like lasers on rotated ball sockets, which is mounted on either side of the lower chest. And they can shoot like a twin blast of them. It still does 66 mega damage, which is pretty good. So yeah, so that's the big feature between we'll just call it the light combat and combat. Combat, more weapons, less space. Exploration has more space, less weapons. Plus, the price of it is $10 million cheaper. He'll sell it to you for 14 million credits. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So now that's what he has available right now that you can walk off with. All right? Now, there are some robots that you can order special in from the Northern Gun. And maybe even Cyberworks would be able to help you out, too. Do we have any follow-up questions real quick?
I was gonna say, like, can we ask the group, like, are we all to save Inferno sometime? Maybe are we all like? I'm under the impression that that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for like a mobile home, like the
Yes.
Behemoth or something like where we could.
I'm
Yeah.
fairly dead set on
Yeah,
The
pretty
Behemoth?
much the Behemoth or something very
something
similar.
very
to-
similar. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, let me just go through my robot listings real quick. Thank you for wanting to save me some time. I really do appreciate it.
I mean, don't get me
That
wrong.
sounded really-
That robot,
You're all
those robots, the Titan series, I have
Yeah.
elite training in them, so it's nice.
You know
but,
how to operate it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because they're very common.
Yeah. But on the other hand, that's not. I think we're looking for like I said, we're looking for a
Something
Normandy.
that has a lot of storage space. Yeah, you're looking for a Normandy?
Something
Okay.
with a lounge, and this could be our home when we're traveling.
Okay, then you know what? Then that's like all the other robots. Some of them are a little bit roomier, but it's really just for traveling and some storage. Nothing compares to the Behemoth. So Perrin can get you one. A brand new one costs. He says a brand new one has to be custom made. That's 100 million credits. There's for 30 million credits. He can get you a rebuilt one with about half the normal MDC that you would have to repair on your own, and the extra sensory systems would have to be installed. But he could get you for 50 million credits. He could get you the whole thing. Only it would have 3/4 of its mega damage, so it would be slightly used without repair. You'd have to pay for the additional repairs. And it would have all its sensory systems except for one. It wouldn't have infrared search lights. Typically, it has 2 front headlights that can serve as infrared searchlights. Those ones have been damaged and would have to be replaced on their own. But so it's up to you. You can either get a really used one or a semi-used one. 30 million credits versus 50 million credits. Now, either way, you'll probably have to wait until Perrin's exploration team confirms the location of, the dragon's lair
Mm-hmm.
before you get your full credit, right?
Right.
But just kind of out of character, you'll get that heads up before you guys head out
Cool.
from on your exploration thing. So you'll still be able to get it in time. So if you're worried about time being a factor, it can still be arranged, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if what you're looking for is like a mobile tractor, like trailer where you can live comfortably, it's the Behemoth. Just so you know, I'm gonna give you the dimensions. It's 60 feet tall, 20 feet wide, and 82 feet long. I think I mentioned this last time.
Mm-hmm.
It's huge.
It's so big.
It's
I
yeah.
I tell you what, and Tom or Byrne, the more I think about it, and I'm trying to honestly think about it, not as I just really want this. Realistically speaking, this would be the last thing they would ever expect Alcibiades to do. For a spy who wants to lay low to travel in a behemoth, they probably would not even look at it twice. They'd be like, no, Alcibiades would never do that. That draws way too much attention.
If any of them actually checked, I could just be the head man, and they would not notice any sort of
Right,
like.
I could hide in the behemoth.
Like,
Yeah,
for
you're
heaven's
excited.
sake!
You're basically trying to hide in plain sight, and I can see that. I can see that.
Okay, so here's our options. We could get the 30 million one with, let's say we get the 60 million. We could get the 30 million one easy. We could get the 50 million one, still get all 3 power armors, still get the cybernetic stuff we're getting, and still have about 5 million left.
Ish, yeah.
You would have had 15 million. But yeah, makes sense.
Patrick usually wouldn't care either way, and he has a bit more shopping to really get I'm still not sure if I'm going to need something that's just magically like 600 or 6 million. That's probably not going to happen, but he wants to be cautious before we do a final deal of that.
Well, here's another question. Let's say we get the 30 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
Inferno, over time, let's say as we travel and all that, how much do you think, how good would Patrick and Byrne and all that be able to repair it? How much could they do? Like, in other words,
I could do a lot. The main problems would be time and material.
Because the thing I was almost thinking is like, it would almost be like, get the other one so that Patrick has a project,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
okay. So what Perrin would have to do, because they keep a lot of, mega damage materials in their bay for repairs, but not enough to cover entire behemoth. So if he was ordering that in, he would order in additional MDC materials. He'd probably have it shipped with it. Like, they would just stick the MDC materials in the cargo bay, frankly. And almost probably filling up the cargo bay would be enough to repair it, right? And it would take some time to do it. But, I mean, on your downtime, yeah, an hour here, a couple hours there. Yeah, of course it'd be able to be done.
What about this? Like, we get that one, and then how much more would it be to, say, outfit it with a full medical lab? I know it said it had a science lab. I don't know if that really counts. Like, basically,
No, it doesn't count.
Yeah, to give a full medical lab so that Al has a place to patch people up. A decent place.
Okay, let me just crunch some numbers here real quick.
Well,
Yeah, I'm glad I have these lists. You have no idea, because I have now a miscellaneous supplies, and I'm going to just go through the medical listing and be like, okay, it
We
would
might
have
be able
this and this
to-
and this.
to just convert 2 rooms into one giant room and use it
Yeah,
as
see,
a
that's the
medical
other
lab.
thing.
Yeah.
Because there's 10 rooms, if I remember correctly.
Something
Yeah.
like that, yeah.
Yeah. So
And then
Double.
so instead of getting the 50 million one, get the 30 million one, and then use that money to outfit it the way we want. And think about it this way: if we get the lower one that we have to build up, we could also say things like put secret compartments when we repair stuff, or whatever else. Make whatever adjustments that we think would be kind of cool. Like maybe hide a gun in there so that people don't see it coming. You know, that kind of stuff. We could always. We would have more options with the fixer-upper.
Squee.
Hmm?
All right.
I have plans.
So here's some options.
Don't worry your pretty little head
So,
over it. I have
two
plans.
options for medical stuff. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You can get like a basic medical package, which is like enough that any good clinic, like the current clinic compared post would have.
Mm-hmm.
That would cost 250,000 credits. Now, you can also keep a supply of emergency robot medical kits and internal robot medical kits and a few other high-end tools to assist you for double the price, so 500,000, 500,000. So, but you could get everything up for like blood transfusions, like supplies, painkillers, the whole thing, the entire clinic itself, practically, for about 250.
I have a question. Now, again, Perrin runs this traveling band, right?
He is the sponsor of it.
Okay.
Yes.
What if, because what if I ran, because my job is going to be as a doctor or physician or whatnot, if I ran it from that medical bay and said, Perrin, I'm going to run it from here, help me stock it, because this stock is going to be to take care of the medical troop. I mean, the traveling band. In other words, I run the clinic from that room.
Okay, but he technically still owns all the materials.
Right.
Right, like, because the idea is that he already has almost a traveling medic, or he's going to have some medicines that go along with it.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of it just being in its own special caravan or whatever, we just put that in your Behemoth.
Right, I mean, I'd be fully like, look, I'm going to buy for the medical lab. All I'm saying is that, yeah, if I use this as a medical clinic, help me with, you know, blood and bandages and all that stuff.
I think you can convince them. Welcome back, Mila.
Hi, Mila. And then that would be perfect. I can just work from the Behemoth.
Work from Behemoth, yeah.
I can be like the hologram doctor from Voyager.
Dude, I was gonna say you're like fucking Howl from Howl's Moving Castle, except you're Alcibiades, the doctor's moving Behemoth.
I'm Sam from Firefly.
I don't think you're
wow.
Sam.
You're the old lady from Mass Effect 2.
Okay, fine. I'll be
right.
Chakwas.
I'd be
Okay.
Chakwas. That's pretty good. Solid.
So then you guys are leaning towards the 30 million
Oh yeah.
Behemoth?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I would have to get particular notes about which things are missing from the electronics point.
Yeah,
but,
I'll give you a detailed list in regards to that. Like I said, you mostly have all the sensory systems. We've been talking a lot about this, so you know I will give it to you. What you can do is you can let Perrin know that you're interested in that. He can arrange for things because he says it'll take a few days to get things arranged. He's going to be ordering this from Northern Gun. Luckily, it's relatively nearby. A lot closer than, like, say, Lone Star or even Laszlo, so shipping shouldn't be too bad. He'll start putting things into works, so once he knows everything's good as far as the Dragon Bone end goes, he can just make a quick communique, and not really a phone call because there aren't phone lines. But a quick communique and then pull the trigger and have it here for you.
I don't know about the timeline, but I'm assuming my character has already or probably can whip up a map fairly quickly that would.
Oh yeah, that's kind of implied now that yeah, he's able to do that for you. Yeah. I mean, you can do that for him. I think we might have mentioned that last session actually.
Yes.
You making a very specific map.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I would note that the original map, the way it led, was through traps and
but you're gonna circumvent that.
This particular map is much more straightforward and completely goes around any and all.
No mention of anything else, especially the burning.
I'm just
wood.
going to say that it's specifically just traps.
Can we also put on the list materials for chocolate milk so that the kitchen is fully stocked?
Okay.
We have millions.
Yeah.
I think you'll
Why
be good.
not?
The chocolate milk is now going to become like yogurt from Burn Notice. It's just everyone just has chocolate milk all the time.
Okay. So many millions. Okay. Welcome to Riffs. Okay. So, all right. Okay. I love it. And the best thing is that we still just hit the tip of the iceberg as far as things go. People are like, why the hell did you give them a behemoth so soon? I'm like, oh no, they earned it. They nearly died. All right.
And-
So, all right. So he's putting that in motion for you. All right.
And then, so we have plenty of money to get all 3 power armors. Now, the only question that remains is, do we make them matching colors?